much more welcoming response, I think, than the Cowboys. So the Bucs have watched their lead in the NFC South shrink dramatically after losing 3 of the past 4 games to stiff competition. The Lions, Patriots, and Bills, and the road doesn't get not any easier this weekend. On Sunday night, the Bucs are set to face a Rams team that's currently tied for the best record in the NFC. Since starting 5-1, the Bucs' odds to win the NFC have moved from plus 750 to 14-1, which is 6th of C teams according to ESPN Sportsbook. So, Cam, do you believe Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are still at this point Super Bowl threats?
Absolutely. And I think the only thing that pretty much has changed with this is the offense is still dominant and potent, even with the injury to a Mike Evans. The reality is that the defense has not provided enough opportunity as they once had earlier in the season. Now, when you have Baker Mayfield now having an opportunity at the end of the game to go win it for us, he's provided that opportunity. Well, when you look back last week, he didn't have an opportunity in Buffalo because the game got so out of hand, it was almost like we were playing catch up to somebody's mustard. You dig what I'm saying?
I got you.
So those type of realities have to be taken into consideration. And it's not to say that the Buccaneers defense isn't capable because they have some stars there. It now comes back to saying, hey, how can we play complementary football with keeping the game in reason so we can allow our team to make plays for us at the end?
Go ahead, RC.
That is not true. This team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as they are playing right now, aren't Super Bowl threats at all. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when we go back throughout their schedule, you say, okay, Seattle was a quality win. We'll say the San Francisco 49ers are a quality win. In the last 2 weeks, you played the leaders of the AFC East Division in the Patriots and the Bills, and the Bills game was actually close. Baker Mayfield did have an opportunity in the fourth quarter. A Bills team that can't stop a nosebleed was able to get the football back to Josh Allen. Obviously, Josh Allen has one of those superhuman days. But if they don't get people back healthy, if Todd Bowles defensively can't figure out a way to stop the big play, this team can't compete with the top of the NFC. It wasn't just Drake May to Kyle Williams, Drake May to Stephon Diggs, Drake May to Mac Hollins. It was last week with Keon Coleman on the sideline, Josh Allen to every damn body. And so if they don't figure out a way to stop people and give Baker Mayfield more help offensively when you get some people back healthy, this team will be home early in the playoffs like we've seen them the last few years.
Listen, I don't have much to add more than that because I agree with RC. I mean, right now, we look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're a decent team. But we don't view them the same way we view Seattle. We don't view them the same way we view L.A., and we damn sure don't view them the same way we view Philadelphia. We just don't. And then when you combine the fact that you've got cats missing multiple games, that includes Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, okay, Bucky Irvin as well. I mean, those are pivotal absentees right there. When they're not in the game, that affects you. We know that Baker Mayfield been trying to hold down the fort despite oblique injuries and knees and all of this other stuff. He's been trying to hold down the fort, but there's only but so much he can do. There's only but so much that defense can do. Tampa Bay is a damn good team. They're in the mix. They're respectable. But you need all your weapons. You got to remember Tristan Wirfs. I mean, you got him on the offensive line. You need that, brother. Yep. If you don't have these cats available, you have no chance against these teams that we're talking about in the NFC.
They started the season 5-1, right? They won so many close games, and it seems like those close games have kind of slipped away from them. So why do you still think they're a Super Bowl contender?
I just got to question Stephen A. on something real quick. Like, you just loosely using teams of what they could be or what they have showed before and not consistently. And that's fair that you've now came into a realization of a better understanding of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But to see last week's performance and still to utter a Seattle Seahawks team, the thing that I'm saying is each team that is a Super Bowl contender has one thing in common: a capable quarterback. That's not to say that Sam Darnold isn't capable. What I'm saying is what we've seen more times than not, at one particular point in this year, we were saying that Baker Mayfield was a MVP candidate, if not the top.
First 4 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, but he's still performing at a high level with the opportunity that is given. Now, when you say Super Bowl contenders, I'm putting Baker Mayfield in a position to say, hey, can he compete with a Philly? Can he compete with a Detroit? Can he compete with a Los Angeles Rams? Can he compete with a Seattle? Yes, because of Baker Mayfield and what I've seen more times than not this year, and that's the reason.
Well, you can. I get you. I get where you're coming from with this. Here's where I'm looking at with Seattle. Sam Darnold. We know what happened with him in the season finale against Detroit last year. We know what happened to him in the playoffs against the Rams. and his brother rolled up to. Hold on,
don't start that.
Wait a minute.
Why you set him up
No,
so he can talk bad about Sam?
I'm not talking bad about it. I'm just giving you facts. I'm just giving you facts. The man showed up in Southern California and act like he wanted, he was drowning in the Pacific Ocean. That was wrong.
Yeah, he came straight from Coachella.
Four interceptions, okay? 4 interceptions. And still, against a Rams who are universally recognized as a title contender, they needed every mistake he made in order to survive, because Seattle still was in a position to win the damn game if they could make a field goal at the end. This is what we're talking about here. Despite 4 interceptions, my attitude is, as awful as he can be in his moments, I don't expect him to be that awful. How can we rely? I'm not relying on that. And that's the difference.
Yeah.
Somehow we went off the rails and we got to the Seahawks.
How the hell we get to Sam Darnold, though?
Strange.
It's
It's a bunch of
because
strange
the
things.
It's not even in the rundown.
The Bucs have a tough
He brought him
one.
up.
Speaking of California and LA, the Bucs have a tough one. Again, they have the Rams on Sunday night. The Bucs 1-7 in primetime games since 2023.
Yeah.
Not a great record,
Right.
but they could change the tide. How's everyone doing out there? Okay, good. Good to hear. They're going to be sticking around with us. Hopefully you will too. Cam Newton has called Drake May's season so
Coming from their locker room, where is it coming from Jared Goff's locker room where you don't even score double digits last week? Or when you play the Minnesota Vikings, you are getting pressured, you are getting sacked, you are turning the football over, but we watch Jalen Hurts go ham on them. I don't understand why this dude has to be treated this way and talked about in this manner with all that he's accomplished. Everybody else that accomplishes what Jalen Hurts does, we give him the benefit of the doubt. We sit around and we say, oh, we saw him do it in the Super Bowl twice. Not once, but twice. Oh, we've seen him step up whenever he needs to. His team's 8-2, and they're leading the NFC again. But still, we questioning him? Bro, we got to quit with that and finally say to ourselves, okay, let's truly watch the film and talk about what everyone's doing.
RC, respectfully, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Because it's not us. It's not us. It's his team. Now, let me tell you, it's his team. Now, I don't recall any of us. Now, the man has thrown for under 200 yards 6 times this year. We didn't say anything about it. They won the last 2 games. They scored 26 points. We didn't say much about that. His teammates are saying something about it. Now, one in particular, I got it. But I think the one thing that we really, really need to pay attention to what Jalen Hurts said was nobody has come up to him. We've seen Nick Sirianni speaking on it. We've seen A.J. Brown speaking on it. As a guy that worked in Philadelphia for 17 years as a reporter, I trust that those reporters are getting that stuff from somewhere. They ain't making it up. So I'm saying to you, I look at Jalen Hurts, and I'm saying 51-14, best record in football with him as a starting quarterback, all right? 2 Super Bowl appearances, a Super Bowl champion. He's got a better record over the last few years than Patrick Mahomes. And he just busts Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City's living you-know-what in the Super Bowl. We know that he's the reigning Super Bowl MVP and what he brings to the table. But the reason why this has been a story for weeks is because of what's going on inside that Eagles locker room that they have let out to the public. It's not the media.
Right.
It's not pundits talking about him. It's them. They're the ones.
No, it's one man. It's one man, and it's the rest of the team. It's the coaches. It's the other receivers. It's the running